What's up, guys? Welcome to the part 2 of the Q&A. If you guys haven't checked out part 1, make sure you go watch it. It's a really good video. Let's get started. Here we go with the first question. Alright, Rubber Junior 9 asks, how did you and your fiance meet? Alright, it was because of my bounce. As soon as my vertical got to 40 inches, all the women flocked and I chose her as the most beautiful and best one. No, I'm just playing. It is related to dunking though. I met her because of dunking. So a lot of you guys know who Isaiah Rivera is probably.
Oh yeah, your biological brother.
A lot of people think we're brothers. We're not related at all. If you guys don't know who he is, 15-second dunk mix. I met Lewis, so this was May 2016, around there. I get hit up by Lewis that he's gonna be moving down. He hits me up from my YouTube. I think he comments on my YouTube. He says, hey, I'm gonna be in Florida, moving down there in like a month. Do you wanna dunk? And then I responded to him. I said, yeah, let's set it up. And we end up meeting at LA Fitness. This was June 2016. And we have a dunk session. He said, oh, my sister's gonna come pick me up. I'm like, all right. And then I walk out with him, and then his sister walks into LA Fitness to pick him up, and I was just like, my God, who is that? And you know, I see her, and but then that's that. Like in my head at this time, I wasn't smooth with the ladies. I just had a freaking shaved head and a little mustache. I had never been in a relationship with my life, none of that. I just accepted it as a beautiful woman, and that's that. And then later in the day, I'm just chilling at my house and I get a text and it's Lewis, and he's like, hey, my sister thought you were cute. Do you want her number? And I was like, hell yeah, I want her number. And then he sends me her number, he sends me her Instagram, like I think Snapchat, just everything. And then I was like, all right, bet. And then I sent her a text, and from there it was history. Also, me and Lewis were not brothers, and it turned out that they're also not siblings, they're cousins. Yeah, they like lied to me. I think they lied to everybody about that at the time. But yeah, that's basically how I met her, and that's been 5 years now, and we're about to get married. And time for the next question. J.Monday, how do you stay so motivated? It's really hard to stay on the grind all the time. If you want it bad enough, if you really, really want it bad enough, you'll stay motivated, my friend. Especially if you really like something, you'll stay motivated. The number one question you want to ask yourself is there something that you really like? Is there something that you actually want to like get good at? Second thing, and this is where I think it's hardest to keep motivation, is like when you get hurt. It's really easy to be motivated when you can just dunk and lift all you want and as hard as you want. When you're hurt, that's the tough part. I would say when I get hurt, things that keep me motivated, honestly, if you read the book Power of Now, staying in the moment and thinking about what you can do at that exact moment to get where you want to be. If dunking or basketball, whatever it is something that you really like, that's something that you really want to do, that's going to give you some semblance of motivation. And if you're ever hurt, you ever have a down day, just focus on that moment. What can you do now to get better? If that means do a set of isometrics, so be it. That means stretch a little bit, boom, do that thing. Don't think about the future. Don't compare yourself to other people also. I feel like that can be very demotivating for a lot of people. Remember, this is kind of a battle against yourself. That's what dunking is. You want to get better compared to yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. Try to be better than you were the day before. Also, stay off social media. That's really big in terms of mental health, I found. A lot of times you can see people posting like dunk highlights and all this stuff, and it's very easy to compare yourself to that, but it doesn't really paint like the real picture of what training and dunking is really like. Stay in the moment, control what you can control at that moment. Don't compare yourself to other people. That's huge. That is really big. I think that's pretty much it. Motivation is a really interesting thing, because when I was first getting into dunking, my biggest motivation was trying to be the best. Like, it was from the age of 16, I was like, I'm gonna be the best dunker in the world. And that's literally what drove every little thing that I did, which was awesome. I mean, my biggest inspiration was Michael Jordan. He had that like GOAT mentality. Jordan Kilgannon, he kind of taught me that mentality as well. It lit a fire under my ass, and it made me really good. But that same mentality is what also kind of like ruined my mental health later on. It's kind of a balance, and you have to be very, very careful with that. I will say with people that I think that mentality is necessary to be at the top in terms of like sports, but I don't think that mentality is good in terms of like personal satisfaction with life and being a happy person. So be very careful, and just, I don't know, is there anything I should clarify on that?
I feel like you could fit competition somewhere in there, a healthy type of competition.
I mean, competition, that's a big motivator. Like I will say, like, because I'm an extremely competitive person, extremely competitive. That's one of like my biggest drivers. I remember when I first got into the dunk game, and this is a lot of contradictions because I'm saying like compare yourself to yourself and try not to compare yourself to other people. But what drove me in the beginning from age 16 to like 21, comparing myself to other people, like I tried to be better than everybody. I remember first I found Steven and Nico, and I saw where they were at my age. I was like, dang, like they can jump high. My first thing, I'm gonna be better than them. Boom, and like I got better than them. Then I found Jordan Kilgannon's YouTube channel. Then I started comparing myself with where he was at my age. And then that became like my biggest driver, like trying to be better than that. When I first met CJ, like that, he was a big driver for me, and that was a constant battle. Like people always telling me CJ jumped higher and had better style. That was always the thing. I could do a lot of dunks, but CJ just jumps higher. And it's definitely healthy. I think it gets unhealthy when it becomes like you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like sweating bullets, and you're like, this person's getting better than me. Like that is where it gets unhealthy. But definitely finding someone that's around your age and around the same skill level, and just competing with them can be a really good form of competition. For me personally, it can definitely get unhealthy because I'm a very like obsessively competitive person. So that's where I'm like, I try to be a little careful with it. That's definitely like a good source of competition. I think I contradicted myself 3 or 4 times. Take whatever resonates with you the most, whatever you feel like will help you the most from what I said. Because I mean, different strokes for different folks. Everybody's mind is set up differently. But that's kind of like my journey with all the different mindsets and stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So Diego Push _, asks, can anybody, regardless of their genetics, become a freak athlete with work and dedication? You're no, I'm playing. First thing is you gotta define freak athlete. Do I think the average person can reach a 48, not 48.
Normal for anybody walking around the neighborhood. Just randomly jump.
Imagine if the average person had a 48-inch vertical, bro.
That would be so cool.
Imagine what basketball games would look like if everybody had a 48-inch vertical. Do I think that the average person can have a 48? Why do I keep? Do I think that the average person can have a 40-inch running vertical? Yes, I think that the average person can totally achieve that through the power of proper strength training and periodization and years of hard work that you can get by going to THPstrength.com. But on a serious note, I think the average person can reach that level of athleticism. Would I call that freakish? No, I think what makes someone have freakish athleticism is being on the elite level of genetics. The level of dunking, and CJ, I don't know if you noticed this, but I feel like the level of dunking recently is like, has been taken to like another level. Three of my last 4 sessions I've been with Sutherland. His standing reach is 8'5", 8'6". He has around a 45, 46 inch like running vertical. So just with an 8'6" reach, like imagine me or CJ on 9'6", for example. Or think Austin. Austin, he has a 7'6" reach. Imagine Austin on a 9-foot rim. Like, life is not fair. So I think like some people are just blessed. And then I think where you get the freaks is when you combine hard work with freakish athleticism like that. Another person that I've looked at a lot recently is like T Flying High. He has freakish genetics. The man benches 315 for reps, squats 500 plus, deadlifts 600 plus, right? in the span of just a couple of years. And his dunks are, he's 6'3", like 8'2", 8'3" reach.
What about being just mega elastic? And is it just as impressive to not train as hard, but yet jump 50 inches?
Yeah, and then you have like the T-dubs of the world. Tyler Curry, right? Doesn't touch a basketball for 3 months, goes out and does 360 East Bay, 360 windmill off the lob. Like, there's a lot of freaks out there, and there's a lot of people that have put in years of hard work and they don't get to that level of athleticism. So I don't think you can get to that freakish level without some kind of genetics. Now, I don't think you need elite genetics to get elite athleticism per se. I think if you have above average genetics and you work really hard, you can become one of the best dunkers on the planet. Look at Jordan Kilgannon. His reach is around 7'10", around there. He's kind of tall. He has slightly above average genetics, became best dunker on the planet. I would call my genetics above average, but they're not elite. Like, they're not like these Olympians and stuff like that. And I became one of the best dunkers on the planet. So I think you need above average genetics to reach the epitome of your sport. But if you have average to below average genetics, I think you can still get good athleticism. Like, where it's like, whoa, this guy can jump high. So yeah, set high standards for yourself. And remember that this is like long term. Like, over years of consistent proper training, like, you can get really freaky. Look at Travis. Travis is a really good example. He doesn't have freak level genetics, and he can behind the back. He can East Bay. He can stick his elbow on a 10-foot rim. Like, that's some good shit. Like, I think if you put in 2 years of solid training without getting hurt, you can become really, really good at dunking. Really athletic. You can jump really high. How did you get invited to your first dunk contest? This is by Jump Hoyer. My first dunk contest was UCF. They held a student dunk contest. Me, CJ, and Steven rolled up in there, and we put on a show, and it was a fun as shit. Yeah, that was the first dunk contest. Shortly after that, we got invited to a dunk contest in New York. That was through Scotty. So Scotty, he's an editor at Ball is Life right now. Super good friend of ours for many years now. He knew a guy that ran a celebrity game every year for a charity event. He put in a good word for us. We were starting to get pretty good at dunking at the time. We had just put on a good show at UCF. So it was kind of obvious that, like, we could do a dunk show, an event. He invited us. We killed it there. And from there, like, again, we proved that we could show out in front of a crowd. And from there, it kind of just took off. This is something, like, you got to make sure you do. If you go to an event, make sure you kill it. If you kill it, it'll lead to more opportunities down the line. Yeah, that's basically how I started.
So much harder to start out now. Remember how bad we were in our first contest?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was good because, like, everybody loved it. But if we did that, now and anywhere, I feel like everybody's standards are so much higher now.
Yeah. That's what I was saying about how dunking's evolved. Yeah. Like, because we got into it early, like, in terms of social media. And, like, we were the first people really having dunk sessions like that. Yeah, and we learned how to do push-offs, so, like, we didn't have to be that good to do a dunk show. Yeah, now the standards are high as shit. Like, I feel like the level of dunkers that can East Bay, like, just East Bay double up, like, for example, like, it's just, there's a lot of people like that. Bottom line, for all this stuff, if you want to be a pro dunker, get invited, you gotta be good. And you gotta be doing stuff that's different from everybody else. What sets you apart? If you're just a 5'10" dude that can East Bay, there's 1,000 guys just like you, right? You gotta be the 5'10" dude that can 360 East Bay on command. Then you're gonna get invited to a dunk contest. Dunk camp.
Woo, that's huge.
Dunk camp. Go to dunk camp.
Get exposed at dunk camp.
Yeah.
I mean, exposed and get exposure, I should say.
And this is the goal I have with THP, is to grow it to the point where we can hold regular dunk competitions, like every week, have regional stuff. Like, if you're from West Coast, you got a dunk contest every week. If you're East Coast, you got a dunk contest every week. Kind of like CrossFit. Let's say you are the 5'10" guy that can do an East Bay, you can do a dunk contest. Hopefully that can start happening in the next few years. Or if a random eccentric billionaire is watching this video, hit me up. All right, last question. Salahidin Rahman. He asked, which dunker do you look up to the most? Easy question. Jordan Kilgannon, baby. He's the one that brought me into the dunk game, basically. When I was 16, he is the guy who is most passionate about dunking, most obsessed with it. I think recently he's stopped caring about dunk contests or like any of that. He just cares about hitting new dunks, training, getting himself better. It's really inspiring, and yeah, it's fun talking to him. This easy answer.
Who's your favorite dunker that you've not met yet?
Met a lot of guys. Golden Child. I haven't met Golden Child. Oh,
that's a good one.
I haven't met Kenny Dobbs. I'm like the new age Kenny Dobbs. Not that good of style. Hit a bunch of shit. Dunked on 9-9.
Yeah, we'll put that in. We'll put that in.
Alright guys, that's it for the video. Make sure you like, leave a comment, subscribe. We got more new content coming soon. If you want to get online coaching to jump higher, get rid of knee pain, go to THPstrength.com is the best training on the planet. You're going to get coached personally by me and John Evans to reach any goal that you want athletically. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. Special Beat Cannon!